Hello, my lovelies. I hope you're all well. Throughout the Kylie Rodney case, we have been made to believe, or they've tried to make us believe, that Kylie's demise was an accident. Nobody's to blame, nobody's at fault, nobody's guilty. So no suspects, right? We've also been told that a certain someone, who was apparently 4 hours away at the time, was interviewed by law enforcement very early on in the investigation, and he was cleared of any and all involvement after a thorough interview or interrogation. But it was an accident. It's been confirmed by law enforcement that he was 4 hours away, although it's been questioned and argued that he could have done it in 2. And just because, well, basically the only way that he could prove he's at home would be through his phone, because I'm pretty sure that nobody was stood there watching him be at home or watching him be wherever he says that he is 4 hours away. So they'd have probably taken the information from where his phone was pinging at the time, or any locations that he'd stopped at, or I don't know quite how the location thing works. But he could have just left his phone at home. I'm pretty sure these kids can afford burner phones. So his phone being at home proves nothing. It does not prove that he was there. He could have just as easily been at the party, if there was one, the same as everybody else. This person was also entrusted by law enforcement with the task of filtering through any tips that came in prior to them being given to law enforcement. But it was an accident, so I don't understand why he would need to do that anyway, because it's an accident. But they trust him enough to go through this vital information that could potentially be coming through, but they suspected him enough to thoroughly interview him and look into him. That doesn't make sense. Then he was also made to do not 1, not 2, but 3 polygraph tests by the FBI over the course of around 6 hours, with armed guards pointing their rifles at him. His mum's hysterically banging the door down, and they're basically trying to convince him or get him to confess that he's done something. And the only reason they let him go was because his mum nearly broke the door down. But they didn't try and remove her at any point or tell her, you've got to leave, we need to do this. Because surely having his mum banging on the doors, trying to get in, would have raised his stress levels while he's trying to do a polygraph test, which could sway the results, I suppose. But it just seems strange that they did nothing to remove her and just let that carry on till they were done. But he felt that they were trying to make him crack and confess. But to what? It was an accident, right? Eliv apparently also confirmed that they did interview him and they did clear him as a suspect. On top of all of this, the comments and posts that he's made that are so angry and full of disdain towards Adventures with Purpose, for finding Kylie, that's what his anger with them is, that they found her. And he seems to get quite narky with anybody who looks into any of the people that have surrounded the case, or even dares to suggest that it wasn't an accident. And have you ever noticed how when somebody's lying about something that they've done or something that you might be close to catching them out on, they get quite narky, quite angry, sometimes even verbally aggressive towards you or anybody else that's saying things? That they're just angry that you're not trusting them, that you're finding them out. Kids do it when you've caught them out in a lie. They'll start getting angry and blaming everybody else, and it's never their fault. But it's just it's just something that humans do when they're caught out in situations, I suppose. But in this case, me thinks the boy doth protest too much. But because it was all an accident, wasn't it? But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on it all? I look forward to hearing from you. And with that, I shall leave you all in peace. Thank you for listening, my lovelies. Take care and be kind to everybody. Bye.